On this episode of the Procedurally Generated Show, Tony solves puzzles with portals, Ethan accepts the challenge, and Cole conquers someone's nightmares. Definitely not his own. Lol.
I was wondering 100%, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?
Yeah.
He did.
Nice.
Well, howdy everybody. Welcome to the Procedurally Generated Show. I'm your host, Tony, and joining me this week, I've got Ethan.
Hey, Tony.
What's up?
Lol.
I'll have to make sure I leave that part in the intro for the show.
Just re-record it later when we're already done and just put that as an addition on the end.
Just right after the end credits, just lol. Oh man, that might be one of my more embarrassing parts of the intro ever.
You have the power to edit.
I do have the power
why
to
you
edit.
don't.
But I don't mind, having a little fun at my own expense. So, well, how have things been going over there?
It's still going the same. I'm hoping it'll get easier where I can get home in a more timely manner soon.
Well, that'll be good.
It will be, eventually.
Have more time to play stuff and just relax instead of having to deal with work all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like people want to bother me, and I have to get paid to do that. So,
well, at least you're getting paid for it.
If I wasn't, I wouldn't bother with that.
The
not doing this for charity.
Is people are paying you to, deal with all this stuff. So, yeah. But also joining us this week, we've got not Ethan. You're already here. Also joining us this week, we've got Cole.
Team killing is our national pastime.
I mean, we haven't had a good opportunity to team kill in a while.
Yeah.
We'll have to figure out something so that we can get a team kill in.
Right.
Maybe whenever they add multiplayer to Halo Infinite.
That's still 2 months away though.
What?
In the meantime,
this month.
No, it's like this month. I thought.
I thought it had gotten pushed past.
I don't know. Anyway, I did learn something about that game though.
About Halo?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can fly a Pelican in Infinite.
Really?
Ooh.
There's a setup to make it work, but it works. The Pelican's basically indestructible too. It's really nice.
I was gonna say if we can get co-op and we can fly the Pelican, that'll be the easiest TK.
Well, I know the developers were watching that GDQ run, so
yeah,
they're like, okay, yeah, we got to fix this because now people know. Or it might have already been fixed on a previous patch. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't played it for a minute.
Yeah, the last thing I've seen, as of June 28th, the Halo Infinite countdown has on Twitter has a co-op thing, and it's 64 days, and that was 10 days ago or something. So,
gotcha.
It's still 50-ish days until we get to play that game together, unless it gets delayed again.
Maybe by the time Halo Infinite 2 comes out.
Yeah,
we'll get to play Halo Infinite 1.
Yeah, finally be able to play co-op in Halo Infinite 1. Gosh.
Or no, we'll get Reach's backwards compatibility co-op campaign working together with no lag.
What we all need to do is just play Flight Simulator on xCloud and just all fly Pelicans around and pretend we're playing Halo's co-op.
There's pelicans in Flight Simulator?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
And
What about
you can take it to the edge of space.
Can I ODST in?
No. You can't.
They need to make another. I don't know, another Halo where we're just playing as random Spartans again. You know, something we can build up, and then they call it Destiny. And then I mean, I would love for them to actually bring back like a Spartan Ops sort of thing where we play as custom Spartans.
Yeah, or you know, like Halo Reach,
with a story
where we all got
mode
to play as some different character.
Yeah, I just really want something where it's like the game is beatable no matter what your loadout is, and we all have different loadouts, and just be like, we're the team.
Yep, that would be great. I'd love.
And we get to blow up our own Halo ring,
of course,
or crash it into another one.
That's the ultimate team kill. Is
my favorite thing about my favorite thing to do in Halo is to play as Brad Halo. He's my favorite character, for sure.
I thought he was always a bit of a jerk.
Yeah, it's a slow build to where you finally start to like him. But I think in the end, it really pays out.
Okay. Well, maybe Halo Infinite 2 will be able to play as Brad Halo.
That'll be so cool.
Or Desmond Halo.
Nigel Halo.
Nigel.
Samus Halo.
Master Chef.
There you go. Well, what have you been playing? Have you been playing Halo this week, Cole?
I've been playing Halo 17, Destiny 2.
Oh, okay.
So there are no chefs in this game. Only
Zool.
Are there no? Yeah, there are no sous chefs. There are only head chefs in this game.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been playing Destiny. We got the conclusion to this season's story with the final Crown of Sorrow mission.
What we assume is the conclusion.
Right. It wraps up the story, but there's always the possibility that they're like, oh, you thought this was the end, but this is just the beginning.
Like Marvel mid-credit scenes or something.
Yeah. I don't know if this is I don't know if like this storyline is going to tie in to, or sorry, I'm mixing my thoughts up. I'm not sure if this season's. God, I'm having like a brain fart right now. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Let me think. Let me start over.
Brad Halo.
Brad Halo. Yes. I don't know how soon. Okay, this is. I don't know how soon this season's supposed to be over. It typically, when the story ends, it's like it's the last week or two.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I thought it was like a month or two out. Yeah, it's 44 days. So the season is like a month, more than a month away from being over. And we've already got the end of the storyline for this season. So it's like, what are they going to have us do for the next several weeks if that is actually the ending? And I speculate, since the not the Guardian games, but the Solstice event keeps popping up in my thing, I think that's going to be the next event that's going to kind of tide us over for the last month.
Okay.
But yeah, the story ends pretty well this week. The mission, instead of you doing basically every two weeks you would do a nightmare for someone. So the first 2 weeks was Crow's nightmares, and second 2 weeks was Zavala's, and the last 2 weeks have been Keidel's. And then this week there's the culmination of events where you basically end up fighting all three of them in order to
No, it wasn't all three of them. We ended up fighting like the bosses that were summoned by the first two. And then we fought Keidel's nightmare on top of that. So it took So yeah, we fought the nightmares, but we didn't fight the nightmares that were in question.
Right. The blue versions of our nightmares essentially
we fought our nightmares.
Yeah. We fought them, and then the blue guys disappeared to finish them off. And pretty great. But like it kind of does leave it ambiguous, like, yeah, we defeated Callus, but we didn't defeat Callus because he's already ingrained in the ones on the moon, and he's already taken by the witness. So we'll have to see if we get to fight him, but it does make the story make a lot of sense. Like lore wise, it seems like Callus is not the first person that the witness or the darkness has taken to their side. Like you're like, yeah, you joined me, and then they essentially kill you, but your consciousness still lives on. So it's like the dark side version of the Traveler.
Okay.
So that's going to make the conflict
interesting.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I mean, we know the next big expansion is Lightfall.
So is that like basketball but on the moon?
Lightfall?
Oh, I thought you said life ball.
Ball is life.
Like I thought we were getting into some kind of weird Destiny sport now.
Oh yeah, we play Rocket League on Destiny all the time.
Oh.
We use real rockets.
And we're in a league.
Nobody told me about this.
Yeah, it's on.
You didn't
like
ask.
On Fridays. Yeah.
Yeah.
You were doing the Friday stream. We figured we didn't want. Yeah, this is embarrassing.
Well, all right.
Anyways, that was about it. Yeah, just Halo mostly. My kids are still down from Texas.
Halo?
So. Destiny.
It's easy to confuse the two.
You're basically interchangeable.
Yeah.
Except you can't double jump in Halo.
You have a ghost. You can double jump in Halo. What you do is you throw a grenade down or a rocket as you jump, and then when it explodes, it propels you higher. The rocket jump is the best double jump in any game.
I'll have to take your word for that one. I've never been able to do that.
Although a triple jump is something that's in Destiny. It's not in...
That is true.
Not really in Halo. But that's me.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, Ethan, what about you? What have you been playing?
Have you heard of this game called Klonoa?
No, because I don't have any footage of that one.
Okay, so you weren't prepared for that. That's good.
You threw a curveball at me.
And it's been in the notes since before Halo. Or
since before Halo.
Destiny. It's infectious, man. I don't know.
All right. Let's see how quickly I can get some Klonoa footage pulled up.
So this is so the
it's an old mascot platformer.
Sort of, yes. Klonoa Fantasy Reverie series released like a few days ago, I guess.
I think back on Thursday or Friday. Yeah,
it released like this week. And I'm assuming this is just a remake of 1 and 2 or a re-release or it's rematch. I don't know what it is exactly. I never played the originals. I know the first game looked, from a speedrun I saw, looks similar to what this is. So
yeah,
basically,
back on the Wii, I think there was a Wii release of Klonoa.
So it's basically a 2D or 2.5D platformer. Yeah. Like you're in a flat, you're on a 2D plane, but you can move like in kind of a three-dimensional area.
It's a fairly 2D platform, but you have some depth that you can play around with.
Yeah, that's probably the best way to say that. And I never played the series originally. I was like, oh, this is just a Sonic the Hedgehog knockoff or something, is what I always thought. And so I never picked it up. And then it's like, okay, you get older and it's like, oh, I have the PS4 now. And it's like, okay, this is not what that was. But I don't feel like buying those games. So then this comes out and it's like, oh, now I have a chance to get them again. So I hopped on the opportunity. That I think they're like $30.
I think so.
It's like $30. You get 1 and 2 in there. So that's pretty cool. And so I'm kind of enjoying that. I'm not quite sure what to make of it because it does seem like you can just blaze through the levels quite easily, but there's also this collectathon part of it as well, and it doesn't work quite as intended from what I can tell.
Okay.
And so like I even went and watched some YouTube videos, and people are doing the same thing I'm doing, but slightly worse, and they're getting like all the gems found. It's either they're cheating and lying or something's not right. But I'm having like replay levels like multiple times and I'm getting all the gems. It's just not counting because there's like a double counter deal. But I'm not going to bore people with that. It looks great. I'm enjoying it. Mm-hmm. Seems a little dated in some aspects, but I like that because there's a lot of older games I like to go back and play, and this is a game I wish I'd played back then because this would be super nostalgic for me to play.
Yeah. I don't think it's been updated in any real the gameplay.
Yeah. There's a slight update to it. Like if you're playing easy mode, you get like a longer attack range or something.
Yeah.
And it says that's part of the new mode. And apparently, normal mode is basic release mode. I just thought of what it reminded me of. It kind of reminds me of Tomba, but without all the fun stuff that Tomba came with. All the excessive inventory and equipping and unequipping and the RPG elements that game had.
He's Kirby.
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, Klonoa, whatever, however you say it. That the new one that came out.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
If you remember platformers from back in like the PS2 era, the N64 era, this is going to be very
PS1
nostalgic. Era. That's true, yeah. Be very nostalgic for you.
It looks really cute, yeah.
Yeah, it's adorable. And like you see how he looks in number 2 where he's wearing the blue shirt, blue shorts. It's like, okay, that's totally Sonic the Hedgehog.
Nice.
I don't remember who develops this. Is this a Bandai thing?
Namco Bandai,
That's what I thought. Yeah, because he's wearing a Pac-Man hat.
So the base game is $30. Then there's like, you can pay for the DLC, which is like costumes and art book and soundtrack, which you have to access from the game, which I hate that. Yeah. If I'd known that, I would just got the games and played those. But that costs an additional $20, so you're paying $50 altogether to get everything.
Yeah, I think the base game, unless you just really want to have that art inside the game, just grab the base game.
Yeah, and I bought this on Steam, which whenever you get an OST or soundtrack, whatever you want to call it, it's its own selection in there, and you can go select that. But it's like I have to launch the game to get that.
Does Steam have like a jukebox type thing you can put all your soundtracks into? And
basically, I have like if I have a game that I have the soundtrack for in there, I can select that and tell it to play music or shuffle that music. I think I have to throw all the music together. I don't know. It's not one of those things I would mess with too often, but
yeah,
it is nice to know, like, when I have music, I can go and look for it, but just slight annoyances here and there, I guess. Yeah. But the thing that Tony was prepared for. So, you remember that Metal Gear-like game you talked me into playing?
Yes, the one I said, Ethan has to play this, and you sort of fell in love with it, I think.
A little bit, yes. 100 Fires, The Rising of Red Star. Part 1 or Chapter 1? I don't know.
Yeah, because this is the first of what's supposed to be multiple chapters.
And apparently there's a pre-game out there somewhere on mobile that is no longer around as well. If I could ever find that. Oh, man.
Yeah.
So a while back I did speed runs of it. I got my official time, I quote unquote official times, posted them to YouTube, and I haven't gone back. No one's I posted them to a speed run forum, and no one said anything. So I kind of just stopped caring. I had an alert on YouTube earlier in this week saying that I had a message. I bring it up and I see the guy's name and just like, that's the same name as the developer. And he's like, good job. Now run it on infinite gear mode.
Nice.
And I'm thinking for a second, just infinite gear mode. That's the randomized version of just this little throw-in thing that they have.
I don't remember seeing that when we played.
We didn't look at it at all. It's easy to play. It's just really time consuming unless you're trying to speed run. Then you're trying to rush it and nothing goes right.
Yeah.
So I was trying to speed run it. I got very frustrated. Went back to the main game to just do a little more de-rusting on there to get back in the groove of things. And I discovered a new skip in there that didn't exist before.
Nice.
So I can cut like another 10 to 15 seconds off my runs.
Oh, that's a good chunk of time.
Yeah, a very good chunk of time. Because there's a part where you got to crawl, and it's just, why do I have to crawl? I can just go around it. And there's no footage right now because I haven't recorded it. But I just went around this segment and just walked by it. And so by doing that, you also negate a cutscene trigger.
Nice.
And that also doesn't spawn in 2 guards. So you just walk up, get in the truck, and go to the next section.
Yeah, you got to get a new version of this run up because I want to see it. This game is bonkers. Like it is so weird. Just all of the stuff with JFK, the Kojima nod.
You don't have it in the news, but I was going to say it might be related to a news story, but you don't have it here.
Yeah, I didn't put that in the news. I didn't think that was one we would talk about very much.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. But yeah, you see Kojima in there, or you see a Japanese developer in there, not Kojima. you see
JFK is your boss.
He's man.
And he is as racist as they come.
I don't know how to feel about him. He's like a weird AI version of him, but not. He's like a ghost, really. It's really weird.
It is.
And he's all like super excited to talk about anything.
Especially how bad communists are.
He's like Frank Burns, but super happy. Now, let's see who gets that reference. Now, Frank Burns, that's a MASH reference.
Yes.
Anyway, so yeah, I messaged the developer back. I said, challenge accepted. I'll practice this weekend or something like that.
Yeah, let me know when you get that run up, and I will watch it because I'm very interested in seeing how.
I'm more interested in working on getting the lower time now. The infinite gear mode. Like I said, I tried running it, and it seems like if I get spotted, I die in one hit or something. It's really weird.
Yeah.
And that's not supposed to be a thing, so. But I'll get back to figuring that out.
Speaking of Metal Gear stuff, I saw Unmetal was on sale for Switch this week, and I thought about grabbing that.
That's a great game.
It's like that looks like one of those games I might have to check out because that's a throwback to the NES versions of Metal Gear.
Yeah, it looks a lot at the NES versions. It looks at the I guess the MSX version. MSX?
I said I had a funny card.
Yeah. Whatever that little console was that they originally came with.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think the MSX. That sounds right.
Anyway, I would highly recommend playing that sometime.
No, I didn't like the dog.
So if you're looking for like a good, very, very, very short Metal Gear Solid fix, go with 100 Fires. If you're looking for a decent, fun little story thing, go with oh gosh, what's it called? Tony, what's that game?
What are we? I don't know what we're talking about.
The one that was on Switch on sale recently.
Unmetal.
Oh, Unmetal. There we
Unmetal.
go. Yep. So yeah, there you go. You got the best of both worlds. But 100 Fires is the game I was talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's real short, and I think it's super cheap on the Switch as well.
Yeah, it's like what, a $3 to $5 game or something
like that. Yeah. But it's available. I think it's available on just about everything. Switch, I think PlayStation, maybe the Xbox, PC. I don't know if there's a mobile version of this one.
Probably not, just based on what I've seen in there.
Yeah.
So, Tony, tell me about what you played.
What have I been playing? For me this week, it's been a lot of Portal on the Switch.
Okay.
I have not played the original Portal since fairly soon after it came out. Portal 2 is the only thing I've played a couple of times. I played it once by myself. We did some of the co-op stuff together. So getting back to Portal and just remembering how good that game was. Like, those puzzles are really well done from beginning to end. And there's not any that are like, so far that I've run into, and I don't know if it's just because I remember them from the first time. There have been a couple that have tripped me up a little bit, but I don't know of any that are just like, how in the world is it remotely possible to solve this puzzle? And remembering some of the solutions. And it's but it controls super well on the Switch. I still haven't done the motion controls. I forget that it actually has motion control aiming. I should turn that on and try it and see what it's like.
Okay.
But, I've just been playing with the Joy-Cons, and it runs in 1080p on docked mode. I think it's 60 frames a second as well. It's like the best version outside of the PC version that's available.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think even like PS3 and 360 or whatever read it 30.
Yeah, and the resolution's not as good. I watched a Digital Foundry video this week about Portal, the companion collection, and they were talking about how much better this version is than the 360 and the PS3 versions, which are the only other console versions that have been available. There's not a native PS4 or a native Xbox One.
Yeah, they don't usually like re-release their games.
So this is the first time they've gone back and really done any major work to a console version of the game, and it shows. It's really, really well done. No frame dips whatsoever that I've seen. I know in the Digital Foundry video they showed a couple instances where if two portals were positioned in a way that you could see through both of them at the same time, it would temporarily drop the frames if you were spinning the camera really fast.
Yeah, because at that point you're looking at your map and two other maps that are identical at the same time.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's such a good game. Like Portal 1, I've called Portal 2 time and time again the closest thing that I can think of to a perfect game. And just getting to see those, that foundation from Portal 1 all over again for like the first time in 15 years or something. It's been really, really good. I haven't touched Portal 2 yet, so I don't know how that game compares to some of the other ones.
Portal 2 is just really, really great.
Portal 2 is a fantastic game, and I'm glad that we haven't gotten any more, because they could have started to really water that franchise down really quickly, but
I think they wanted to.
Valve doesn't revisit their games a lot. If they
Valve can't count to 3, Tony.
So apparently, but at the same time, I'm like, I really would love to see what they could do with more stuff to use to create puzzles, because I think a Portal 3 would be an incredible game to play. but I don't know that we'll ever see it.
Maybe one day.
If Valve remembers that they make games. Like that Portal thing that they put out not too long ago for Steam Deck, you could actually just play that on PC, and that was really fun. It was super short.
But it wasn't. It technically wasn't Portal.
No, it's not technically Portal. It's just, an Aperture Science, office simulator thing that had some Portal elements to it, but there's no Portal puzzle solving or anything like that. But man,
It had Cave Johnson in it. That's a plus.
That's true. That's true. It did have Cave Johnson. So getting him back and actually having J.K. Simmons come back and do the voice for more stuff was really good. The other thing that I've been playing around with, just briefly, I started today, and I'm going to play way more of this because I don't forget how fun this game is, but I put the game away for a while and come back to it. I'm like, this is such a relaxing game, and that's House Flipper.
Oh yeah,
House Flipper is on Game Pass now, both PC and console, and I love that game so much. It's one of those games that you can just hop in, take a job, and just zone out. It's like Animal Crossing in the real world, sort of. The Happy Home Designer stuff.
That's what I'm saying, like, visually look.
In the real world. And I find that game to be just utterly relaxing. And one that I could find myself that if I'm not careful, I could just spend hours and hours in there cleaning up houses and painting walls and just, wasting time, basically.
Oh yeah, a lot of time wasted in that game. I loved it.
I was playing around with it earlier today, and my son said, "You just said the most dad statement that I have ever heard come out of your mouth," and that was that if they could find a way to combine House Flipper and Lawnmower Simulator into one game, it would be the most perfect game ever made.
They have the gardening update for the game. You mow grass and do garden stuff.
Yeah, but it's not as, in depth as Lawnmower Simulator is.
I mean, you got to cut some corners here and there, but I mean,
That's true.
Technically there. Of course, my solution to like mowing all the grass is just get the flamethrower and go to town, but they don't let you do that on every map.
So I think today I had done I just did a couple of contracts, and then I had like $30,000 in the bank, and I was like, I'm gonna fix up my place a little bit, because nobody's gonna want to get a job from a home renovator who's living in a rundown shack, which is what you start out with basically.
Yeah, first chance I got, I sold everything in there, and then turned around and just fixed it up.
Yeah, that's what I did. I painted the walls outside, painted the walls inside, bought new doors and new cabinets for the kitchen area, because it's a single room. It's like a studio apartment basically, but it's a standalone home. I've got some other ideas for things that I want to do. I put a
you can sell that house and buy another one, right?
Yeah, I want to put a bunch of money into this one before I do that,
or get enough money and just buy all the houses.
That too. I put an Echo, that Echoes type thing on the mirror, that mirror in the bathroom, so that I can be like, when I wake up in the mornings, I can go to the bathroom and I can ask my mirror to tell me the weather, and it'll show me the weather report on the mirror while I'm brushing.
Those things are awesome.
I want one of those in real life. My wife would never go for it. It's amazing that I have any of the Echoes I have in my house, because my wife doesn't like them, but.
They're always listening.
I would go all in on the smart home if I could.
You saw the Disney movie about that, right?
Yes, I have. And
what was that, Smart House, I think?
I think so.
Good time.
If the power goes out, you can't do you can't do anything in your house anyway, but like if the internet goes out, you can't turn your lights off, which is, a problem. But, there are drawbacks to having a smart home, but
Why would you need the internet? You can just work off the local Wi-Fi that it can do.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could, but
The smart house. The house was Leela.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
The same voice actor or actor.
Really dating ourselves talking about a movie from that far back.
Yeah.
I grew up
90s.
watching Star Trek, and so the ability to just do anything in your house by asking your house to do it has always appealed to me.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah.
You can even make it say you can change the activation word to computer.
Yeah, and I thought about that, but that's a little too geeky for me, and the word computer gets used in our house far more often than the A word does.
Yeah.
So I didn't want it going off every time the kids, were playing on the computer. Or I said, hey, I need the computer. And then it's like, what do you need?
You're like, I need the computer. I just said it.
So, but that's been it for me. It's been Portal and House Flipper, and I might throw some Lawnmower Simulator in there this week. There's nothing new coming out in the near future that I know of that I'm looking to want to play. So, I mean, I've got a couple of games that I'm working on for review. Hand of Merlin, and I gotta get up the Jackbox review.
Okay.
That was pretty fun.
So, but that has been it for me. So, how about we take a quick break here, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the news.
Sure.
All right. First up in the news this week, good news. Good news.
Good news.
We've got good news.
Good news.
Jeff Keighley won't ruin the summer of 2023 because E3 is back.
I mean, he's going to try.
I mean, he's going to. He's already said he's going to do the summer of Keighley again in 2023.
Well, hopefully he does it better than last time.
He's going to have some competition, though, because the ESA announced this week that E3 will be returning in June of 2023, and it will be a live in-person event again. It'll take place the second week of June at the LA Convention Center, and it is being run. They're partnering with the same people, a company called ReedPop, and that is the same company that does PAX, Star Wars Celebration, New York Comic Con, among others. So, hopefully, we will see a lot of the publishers and developers return to E3. It's been 3 years without it, and I have missed E3. As much as the Summer Game Fest has tried to take its place, it's just not the same.
Right.
I like that big 3 or 4 day rush of news, and everybody's going to be there. All eyes are going to be on the game industry for that one brief period of time, and that's where we'll get all our big announcements. 2019 was the last time that E3 was held, and the event drew 66,000 people to the event. So, hoping we will see a big return of E3. I know it was starting to sort of wane in the last few years, but I'm hoping this 3-year break will be that sort of, absence makes the heart grow fonder type of thing, and we'll see a big return of E3 in 2023. I'm like,
road trip.
Maybe I could find a way to get to LA in June. I've always wanted to go to E3, and so maybe we can find a way to make it happen this year. But that's for another time. I'd love to be able to go to E3. So yeah, E3 is happening. Ubisoft this week announced finally and showed off gameplay for Skull and Bones. You guys remember this? I think we were actually talking about this a week or two ago.
Yeah, we were talking about it last week, I think.
And how we were wondering if it was ever actually going to come out.
The answer is no, it's not.
And, well, it's supposed to come out later this year. Ubisoft showed off I think I saw a couple of different videos, 6 or 7 minutes or 20 to 25 minutes, depending on which video you watched. And you can definitely see the Assassin's Creed roots in the way the ship sails, the way the crew moves around the ship. It is very much built on the bones of that the sailing segments from Assassin's Creed 4. A lot of the spearing of animals when you're hunting, because you can hunt whales and sharks and other types of animals. I'm assuming there will be sea shanties. It makes sense that you'll hear the crew doing sea shanties. The locating ships off in the distance with the telescope and targeting them and marking them for your crews to shoot at. All of it comes, if you've played those Assassin's Creed, all of those mechanics come straight from that game. And the ship looks like it maneuvers very much like it did in Assassin's Creed. It's a much faster maneuvering than in something like Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
It is definitely not. Where Sea of Thieves goes with the slightly more realistic feel of sailing, this goes for a little bit more of an arcadey game, video game style of sailing.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were wanting to play a video game, not experience real life.
More enjoyable version of being a pirate.
Well, there will be all the PvP stuff
no.
from a game like Sea of Thieves, but I think they have also confirmed that there will be PvE servers that you can load into, so that you don't have to do PvP stuff if you don't want to.
Good. Someone gets it.
So, yeah. I don't mind PvP in Sea of Thieves if I had the option to choose whether I wanted to do that or just get in and sail and find treasure and do all that.
Let's do a campaign mission today. Nope, looks like we're going to be griefed.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's definitely been the biggest issue that a lot of people had with Sea of Thieves. I really wish they would still give us the option to do fleets. I would love to see fleets of ships sailing around in that game. Because I still jump into Sea of Thieves from time to time and play around. But I'm going to check out Skull and Bones. I don't remember the release date. I didn't write that down. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I will check this out. It'll be available on everything, Xbox, PlayStation, except for Switch. Xbox, PlayStation, PC. They did also single out Stadia and Luna, and I believe it'll have crossplay between them all.
Sweet.
So November 8th is when that is going to be out. So I think I will definitely check this out. This has all kinds of customization for your ship, for your character. It looks good. It looks fun. It's just going to be how much is there in the game, because we've heard nothing about this game. It was like 6 years ago or something that they first announced this game, and then they went radio silent because they started having all kinds of issues with the development. And I'm hoping this isn't just okay, we've worked on this game so long, we just have to put something out there. And it's not going to be good, but we have to put this game out. And I hope that it is actually a really good and really fun game to play.
Be fun to find out.
Yeah. It definitely will. But yeah, so November 8th on whatever platform you want to play on, except for Switch. So,
Coming to a smart fridge near you.
I mean, if you can get, boot up the Google Play Store and download Stadia or Luna, you could play it on your. I mean, I guess you couldn't. Well, you wouldn't need a controller connected to the fridge because they use Wi-Fi controllers. So I guess you could play it on your fridge if you had that ability.
Yep.
In an interview this week with YouTube channel MinMax, former president of Nintendo of America Reggie Fils-Aime talked about why we never saw any dual gamepad games for the Wii U. You know, that was one of the things that they had sort of, talked about. The system was capable of doing, and it definitely was. You could hook up, I think, up to 4 gamepads to a Wii U. But there was zero support for it. And his answer was, what was interesting is that with the Wii U, there was a full development plan for all the interesting interactions and all the capabilities that system could do. And so, in that case, technically, multiple gamepads could communicate with the Wii U. The answer was yes. But the install base never got large enough that type of implementation made sense. And most importantly, the company didn't create a game where you needed another gamepad in order to have a great experience. The development just never proceeded, and the lifespan of the Wii U ended up being so short that it never came to pass. So basically, because nobody bought a Wii U, there was no reason to do it.
Blame EA for not making games for it.
Exactly. It's all EA's fault. And yeah, that was always one of the things I thought, you could do some really interesting stuff with multiple gamepads, but there was never any reason to, and that would have been really expensive because those gamepads, I think you could get a replacement, but it was like $120 or something.
Huh? Like, what, half the price? No, a third of the price of the console?
A little less than a third of the price. Because I think I guess it was $300, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
So, but yeah, there was never any reason for multiple gamepad games because nobody bought the system. And we should all blame EA. Man, I'm watching this Nintendo Land video right now and just remembering how much fun I had playing that game with my kids.
Yeah, Nintendo Land was a lot of good stuff.
And how a proper multiplayer Metroid game could be incredibly fun.
Right. They could technically bring that back. Differently than what it was on the Wii, Wii U. But they could bring back Nintendo Land and make something new.
Yeah.
Nintendo
Switch Land.
Nintendo World.
No, that's an actual thing.
Mm-hmm. Like they could bring it back and make it where, like, if you have the subscription stuff, it's like, all right, you have access to everything that they have to offer, and there are all the various minigames.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's like, okay, well, you can like purchase
the individual minigames or something.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of a neat way to do it, I guess.
Or maybe have it like on a weekly rotation thing for what you have access to.
Yeah. That Nintendo Land, something like that is the perfect type of game to put on the Switch Online subscription service. I'd absolutely play that if it was available. Man. We should go work for Nintendo.
Yeah, they won't hire us. We're too good.
We have actual ideas. We can't do that.
We have the ability to see issues that arise that they don't want to fix.
We just can't have that now, can we?
Nope.
Lego showed off the next set for Super Mario themed Legos, and I want it. It is huge. It is Bowser, and it looks so cool. Like, it is a fully articulate, like 8 or 9 inch tall Lego Bowser, made from, I think they said 2,800 bricks.
I don't know. I saw a couple of pictures of it, and apparently the original tweet got deleted or something.
Really?
Maybe I saw this yesterday. I don't know.
Because the official Lego video for the piece is still up.
It probably got put back up. I don't know. Apparently there was like a leak or something. I think just like right before.
Yeah. He has his arms are fully movable at both the elbow and the shoulder. You can move him at the knees and the hips. His head moves both up and down and side to side, and his mouth opens and you shoot fireballs out of his mouth. This thing looks incredible.
It shoots real fire. Yes.
That'd be great, but I think that would be very illegal. I don't think they could do that. And it is compatible with the other Lego Mario stuff that is out. So your tiny little Lego Mario can be running around fighting against a 9 or 10 inch tall Lego Bowser. It comes with pieces that will actually interact with the Mario character. So it can be fully integrated into your playsets that you already have, if you have any of the Lego Mario playsets. So I'm thinking this would go great with the Luigi's Mansion stuff. So
just take the head off whenever you want. It's like, oh, look, King Boo's in here.
I would love it if you could just pop the head off. And they're showing Mario right next to the Bowser figure. He comes up. Mario comes up to his knee,
as he should.
So yeah, this Bowser towers over Mario, and it looks so cool. I'm afraid to see what the actual price is for this, because I haven't seen that. But I fully expect this will be a very expensive figure. So, but I want one. I want one so bad. Have any of you guys been wanting more information about GTA 6?
What?
No, it would be nice to see them do something new that's not GTA 5.
Well, Rockstar this week announced that planned remakes for GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption were being canceled, and those development resources are being moved over to work on the next mainline GTA game.
So you're saying that they weren't just going to outsource those again?
No, they were.
I actually had someone in the house working on a game. That's weird.
Yeah. So, in a blog post that showed up on the company's website this week said, over the past few years, we've been steadily moving more development resources towards the next entry in the Grand Theft Auto series, understanding more than ever the need to exceed players' expectations and for this next entry to be the best it can possibly be. And as a result, we are in the process of making some changes on how we support Red Dead Online. They're actually dropping support for Red Dead Online, major update support. They'll still be doing little things here and there, but along with the planned remakes for GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption Online is now losing major update support. So,
enjoy.
Hopefully that means we'll hear something about GTA 6 in the somewhat near future. I would imagine we're still probably 2 or 3 years away from a release of GTA 6.
They have time to release GTA 5 on a couple of more things in the meantime, you know?
Well, yeah, because we'll probably have, PS5 Slim in a couple of years, so they'll have to get GTA 5 onto that.
They're going to re-release GTA 5 again on everything that's brand new, and it's going to be called Complete Edition, and it's like, there was no DLC, but there's DLC, so it's like, what the heck are you talking about? And then we'll have Red Dead Redemption 2 Complete Edition, even though that was basically complete, so yeah, there you go.
And then they'll toss out another Red Dead Zombies game in the meantime as well.
They did have a setup in that game for some vampires, actually.
Okay.
And it I guess it didn't actually come to light, but it was a side mission you could do.
Interesting. I remember buying that zombie game and playing it for about an hour, and I was like, this is just weird.
Yeah.
And I don't think
I had fun playing it.
I've not played Red Dead Redemption at all. So
I played through Red Dead Redemption, and then I did the zombie thing.
The zombies, yep.
It's like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm going back through everything I've already done before, but now zombies.
Yeah.
So,
You get like the Four Horsemen's horses and stuff.
Interesting. So if you were hoping to get that remake of GTA 4, it's not going to happen at this point.
Yay.
Which I think is fine.
GTA 4 was just kind of bad.
Cousin, this is me, your cousin.
It's like if you go back and try to play GTA 4 base game without the DLC content, that game is dark and gloomy just on a visual aspect.
Yeah.
And then you get like the final DLC, they brightened everything up and fixed a lot of stuff, made it look better, but I mean, it's like night and day comparison to what it should be. Yeah, whatever.
5's better.
Yeah.
What would you say if I told you Nickelodeon was making another kart racer?
Not much.
Because they're making another kart racer. They announced this week that Nickelodeon Kart Racer 3 Slime Speedway is currently in development and will be out in October.
Okay.
So, I've not played any of the Nick Kart Racers, so I don't know if they're any good. But they're making a third entry in this one, and they say it will be fully voice acted with over 40 characters, and you'll have the ability to customize characters and mix and match TV shows together. So you could have like Raphael running around in a Reptar themed cart, things like that. So
Reptar.
local and online multiplayer, 36 different tracks, some of them returning, some of them brand new. I should probably check out one of these games at some point.
Nah.
Do they get the voice actor for Invader Zim, who's also the voice actor for Angry Beavers?
Oh, they better, because he's real mad.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that news earlier today that Smite is getting some Nickelodeon content, and Invader Zim is one of the characters coming to the game, and they did not get the voice actor for Zim to come record the voice lines for him in Smite. And he was very not happy about it. That's just a weird combination, because isn't Smite all about like gods fighting each other?
Maybe.
And they have brought in some of like Teenage Ninja Turtles, I think, is one. Now we're getting some other Nickelodeon content. There's been some other weirdly seeming crossovers with Smite. So, but yeah, there you go. And then lastly, Nintendo has announced a new Switch.
Switch 2?
What?
No, just they're making a new model of the OLED Switch, and it's Splatoon themed.
Okay, not that big of a thing, but
It'll be out on August 26th, and it will cost you $360.
well, it's not bad looking.
Will not come with a copy of the game.
Missed opportunity. I don't want it anymore.
They have done that a lot for their game-themed Switches. And I think especially the Switch. They might have done it with some Wii U's as well.
They've definitely tried in the past.
Where originally, when they would make a themed version of a system, it would come with a digital copy of the game. And I know none of the Switches, I think, have ever come with a copy of the game that they're themed after. This looks really cool. Like, I like the design of this, with all the Splatoon art covering the entire thing. And the color of the Joy-Cons is really cool. The sort of fade between different colors. It looks really nice. But yeah, so it's going to be $360, and it will be out on August 26th. And a Pro Controller will be out. A Splatoon-themed Pro Controller will be out on September 9th. So, One of the reasons they said that this new Switch will cost a little bit more is that the buttons are different. But I'm looking at it and I can't really tell a lot of a difference between the buttons on this and the buttons on a regular Switch, so I don't know what they're talking about.
This one, when you push the buttons, it squirts out ink.
Oh, well, that could get really messy.
Yeah.
I was thinking every time you push the button, it would make like a one of those Squid Kid sounds.
Yeah.
That'd be really annoying.
Would it? It would. No, it would.
It would.
It would be very annoying. But there you go. That is it. Unless you guys have anything that you want to talk about before we head out.
No.
So, well, all right. Well, that will be the end of the show. So, thank you very much, Cole, for being here.
Pleasure as always.
And Ethan, thank you as well.
See you all next week.